Parashat Vayetze. And what does the book of Genesis have against firstborns? On the way from Beersheba to Haran, Yaakov stops by Bet-El for some camping. An orthopedic stone as a pillow. Ouch. One dream, one ladder, a few angels, and a promise from God for a continued dynasty and a safe return to the promised land. At Haran, near the well, Yaakov meets beautiful Rachel and is captivated by her charm. But let's face it, Yaakov is broke, a refugee without a penny to his name. And in order to get married, one needs a dowry. So what does Yaakov do? He works for Lavan, the father of Rachel, no less than 7 years, only to discover the morning after the wedding that Lavan, the swindler, married him to the wrong sister. But Lavan, we talked about Rachel. I explicitly told you I'm working for Rachel, your younger daughter. Lavan the schemer gives Yaakov an unsportsmanlike jab. What's with you, Yankel? In our town, one does not marry off the younger daughter before the older daughter. Lavan aims his jab directly at Yaakov's weak spot. He knows very well the story about Yaakov stealing the birthright from his son. Maybe by you, Mr. Yaakov, the topic of the firstborn and the younger is a little bit blurry. But in our family in Haran, things are much more organized. The firstborn is the firstborn, and the younger is the younger. Yaakov, as usual, doesn't argue, takes a deep breath, and works another 7 years for Rachel. Let's take the opportunity to talk about the firstborns in the book of Genesis. Throughout the book, there's a tension between brothers over the birthright, and the firstborn, despite his advantage, is almost always pushed aside. Cain and Hevel, Yitzchak and Ishmael, Yaakov and Esav, Reuven, Yehuda and Yosef, Ephraim and Menashe. What's going on? What are we supposed to learn from this? So in the ancient world, the birthright had an almost holy status. If you were a firstborn male, you were automatically the future leader of the clan. Between the lines, the Torah is teaching us something completely different. To be the firstborn is nice, but it's not the end all. Much more important are the choices that are being made. The person that God chose, and of course, the right choices a person makes. We all enter this world in a certain given, firstborn or younger, tall or short, rich, poor, smart, and not so smart. The book of Genesis tells us that what you're born with is not everything, regardless of what your background is. You can always reach the heavens. I'm getting there.